Disclaimer. 1. Some of the images used in this documentary were blatantly stolen from various sources on the internet. 2. Other images used in this documentary were taken personally by the creator, Hristo Atanasov, using a
Sony Cybershot.
Available for 3 easy payments of $19.99 and one more complicated payment of $100.
Buy it today or tomorrow. And now, our feature presentation. The Sony building, formerly known as the AT&T building, was erected in 1984 in Midtown Manhattan and was designed by architect Philip Johnson. Now, I don't want any confusion here. The Sony building and the AT&T building is the same building. This building right here. And it was called the AT&T building before, now it's called the Sony building. Sony building and AT&T building, same building. After we got this out of the way, let's concentrate on the building's location and its creators. The AT&T building is located on Madison Avenue between 55th and 56th Street and is 37 stories high. The announcement of this project made the front page of the New York Times not because of its size or economic impact, but because of its heralding of a new architectural era. The architect of the building, Philip Johnson, was... let's just forget his middle name. So, Philip Johnson was born on July 8, 1906. He was 78 years old when the AT&T building was finally finished. He lived a long life and was 98 years old when he finally passed away on January 25, 2005. While still alive, Philip Johnson was the most recognizable figure in American architecture for decades. During his long and prolific career, he designed many other famous buildings. The Seagram Building in New York, Puerta de Europa in Madrid, the New York State Theater at Lincoln Center, the Krieger Museum in Washington, D.C., Das American Business Center in Berlin, Germany, the Public Library in Boston, and many other buildings in the United States and Europe. Johnson's partner in designing the AT&T building, an architect by the name of John Burgee, is not that famous. We will not show any pictures of him or talk about him, but he would still be happy just to know we mentioned his name. Due to the somewhat unfriendly New York City skyscraperish environment, one can find it very difficult to take actual photographs of the AT&T building. We can observe small bits of the building here, 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 and here. The ground level includes a variety of stores and the Sony Plaza Public Arcade. For reasons beyond me, inside there is a huge inflatable Spider-Man. The lobby has a big minimalist sculpture and plenty of TV screens. With its eye-catching, simple, broken front roof pediment, the tower became the most famous postmodern building in the country. The analogy to a highboy, however, is so apt and unavoidable that it's hard to overcome. The famous Chippendale-like top is very bold and even better at night, when its curved cutout is well illuminated. The building's entrance is about 7 stories tall and had been specifically designed to accommodate and house the spectacular, large gilded statue, The Spirit of Communications, by Evelyn Batchelder. Carter Weissman describes the building as unique fusion of aesthetic rebellion and corporate commerce, less architecture than it was logo, less work of art than hood ornament. The first irony of this building is that it was designed by Philip Johnson, who brought the international style to America in 1932 with his MoMA exhibition and designed pure modernist forms as the Glass House in New Canaan, Connecticut. The second irony is that if the building was a logo, it was totally unsuitable for its client. As AT&T tried to rejuvenate itself in the late 1980s, the last thing it needed was a massive granite corporate headquarters with authoritative classical references. AT&T left the building in 1992. Before we conclude, we must add that information was taken from reliable internet sources, which we would like to keep undisclosed. However, we will thank deeply a smart man by the name of Carter B. Horsley for the provided information. We hope that this film was educational and fun at the same time. After all this, you're probably wondering why, despite its short history, the AT&T building was, and still is, so controversial in terms of architecture and design. Well, the answer is the end!